My name is Sean Gallagher, the principal of Beverly High School, and welcome to Schoolhouse Talk, a studio productions class that has been created by our students, directed by our students, and produced by our students. And we're very excited to be part of this program. I'd like to welcome our guest today, which is Miss Betty Taylor, an assistant principal at Beverly High School, and then also our fall play director, probably more importantly, the fall play director.
More importantly, the fall play director.
So, Ms. Taylor, how long have you been doing the fall plays? I know you've been doing it for a while.
So, a long time, since 1986. First year I got hired to do the fall play, but we couldn't get enough boys. We got 46 girls and no boys. So we didn't do a play the first year. So since 1986.
And then since then, we've had some great productions over the years.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
And I know the past few years we've been doing some comedies, which has been great.
Yeah.
And I know this year we're tackling on The Crucible.
Yeah. You know, I've always liked Arthur Miller. I think he's a wonderful American dramatist. I've been hesitant to do The Crucible, one, because it's Salem witch trials, and you know we're from that area, and so there's a lot of productions of it and a lot of other productions about the Salem witch trials. But as I said, Miller's a great playwright. Our actors need the challenge of doing a drama instead of a comedy, and it's a large cast. There's 21 parts in it, so that's another good reason to take a look at The Crucible.
So more students can participate in the play.
That's right.
That's great.
Yeah.
I know you brought some guests on. Why don't you introduce
I did. I brought
guests?
2 actors in the
All
play
right.
who have been doing great work, and I think you'll be impressed by their performances when you see it. Ryan Noss, who's a senior, and he plays our lead, John Proctor.
Oh, great.
And Elizabeth Blythe Davidson, who is a sophomore, and she plays Proctor's wife, Elizabeth Proctor.
So when you're selecting the play, do you go in mind of potential actors that you're going to have, or you just select the play and then it?
I try not to do that because I want to be surprised and open to an interpretation I haven't had before. I do look at how many parts I'd need, if I need certain physical types, you know, how many males, how many females. That I look more at the technical challenges, like, will we have to build a lot of scenery? Will it be unusual props and costume or lighting? Because I always find that students surprise me when they audition, or a new student comes along, so I try not to do that. You know, I have a core group of kids I know will probably try out, and I'm happy about that, and they're, I suppose, in a way, dependable students that I can use to cast, but I try to hope that there's a surprise every time.
Awesome. So Ryan, you've been, you know, a senior now, right? And you've been involved in the fall plays and the musicals. How does this fall play fit in? Because you've been pretty funny in some of the comedies that we've had over the years. So this is probably totally different with this role.
Yeah,
more of a serious role.
It's much more challenging than playing a police chief who doesn't know what they're doing or something along the lines. But my role last year in the musical kind of helped me prepare for it a little bit. It was it was a character driven by anger, action, and West Side Story. So Miss Taylor once in a rehearsal told me to play action playing John Proctor. So
oh, great!
But it's a very fun challenge.
Now, as you know, being a senior and a lead, maybe you can just tell us kind of what the performing arts here at Beverly High School is kind of meant to you, and kind of how important it is.
I've definitely been, in my 4 years, as involved as I can be. I'm constantly looking for more ways to get involved in the performing arts here, and it's extremely important to me. I'm hoping to be a band teacher, so
great.
As much of it as I can get, I love it all.
Right, and I've seen you at the games. You rock out on that stage out there as you're directing the band. So that's awesome. Now, Elizabeth, this is your first fall play for the high school,
yes.
And you're going to be one of the leads. Why don't you tell us about who you'll be playing and kind of how that's going to work out?
So I'm playing Elizabeth Proctor. I have the same first name as my characters. Some jokes about that. And she is John Proctor's wife and very she has a lot of conflicting emotions, which I've found really interesting to work with. So she loves her husband a lot and is also very angry at her husband. He essentially cheated on her.
Yeah.
And so trying to come to terms with that and trying to find forgiveness for her husband and then being able to let it go herself is...
Great. And I know you in your background, you have been involved in acting outside of Beverly High School. How is that experience working with your friends, within the fall play? Has that been kind of neat?
It's been really, really wonderful.
Yeah.
I've also gotten to know a lot of people in fall play that I hadn't really known otherwise, and it's been great. I really enjoy it.
Awesome. So, Ms. Taylor, with the fall play, the dates will be?
December 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And so the 5th, 6th, and 7th, the performances begin at 7:30. And the 8th is a Sunday, so it'll be a matinee at 2 o'clock. And they're all in the BHS auditorium.
Great.
So I should do tickets for students is $7 and for adults $9.
That's wonderful. And I know that the actors, they work very hard. They rehearse every day after school.
Yeah.
And there's probably a lot of balancing act on your part because you can't take school off. So maybe you guys can just kind of touch base on like how you balance that with the script reading and the practice along with your schoolwork, because you both are excellent students too.
Well, there's a lot of kind of having the script underneath the desk and like in class, like trying to like memorize the lines.
Hopefully the show will air after the fall play.
So they won't know.
And a lot of doing homework while we're not on stage at play practice. Everybody's always doing homework.
Yeah.
It's a lot about just doing everything at once.
Right, right. Just managing time.
Yeah, I also find that fall play is actually a motivation for me,
Yeah.
because I know that I really love fall play, and it's sort of a motivation for me to get my homework done and my schoolwork done, so it's like get it done really fast and well, and then I can focus on my lines and everything
great.
from fall play.
I know, Ms. Taylor, kind of like the last question, I know that the actors that will be on the stage, they get a lot of credit and well-deserved credit, but I know it's to do a production like this, there's probably a lot of students involved behind the scenes that maybe the community doesn't understand that really
Oh
goes
yeah,
into
I
this.
mean there's 21 cast members, but I've had 42 students sign up to be stage crew,
Yeah.
which means they do Saturday commitments. In fact, tomorrow we'll be building trees and staining and painting furniture. And that is definitely behind the scenes. The students who do the lights and the sound and the costumes and the makeup and the scenery, the stage crew themselves, although sort of the unsung heroes,
Right.
especially once we hit production week. Because these students are familiar with the story and the show and the scenes, and the stage crew has to pick up and learn the play very quickly.
Right.
And what I always say to the stage crew, ignore the actors, because the actors are all hyped up and now it's all about my performance and my costume and my prop, and it's the stage crew that really makes everything run. Once the show's up, I sit in the back and watch like the rest of the audience, because I know I have a very strong stage crew that can run things and know what's going on, and they don't need me to manage because they're doing all the managing.
That's great, and I'll tell you, I was fortunate to be part of the musical last
that's
year.
right.
Very small part, but I was part of it. And I was just totally amazed at the how everything comes together.
Yeah.
But the participation for the people behind the scenes. I mean, if you didn't have your stage crew and people arranging the sets and the lighting, and it's just really like a team atmosphere. And
Absolutely,
team effort,
absolutely. They're all sitting backstage silently as the actors are on stage. You don't realize there's so many people ready to go the minute the lights go out or before the show even begins or something like that.
I think it's just a great experience, and we have wonderful actors. And
We do.
And our performing arts here at Beverly High School is extremely strong. And I would recommend for any of the community members that are listening to this or watching this broadcast, come on down on December 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
That's right.
And come see the talent pool we have of actors. And Ms. Taylor, we appreciate all your efforts. It's hard to balance assistant principal along with being the fall play
I have a lot of
director.
fun.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Too much fun. I
Too
think.
much fun.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much, and we're
you.
looking forward to the play. All right. Great. Welcome back. My next guest today is James Coffey, our athletic director, who will talk about some of our fall sports and kind of recap where we're at.
Thanks, Mr. G. So we had a great fall season this year. Very similar to last year. We had a lot of the same success. Obviously, we had for our girls' sports, we had an unbelievable fall with conference championships coming in field hockey, girls' soccer, cross country. Cheering won their first NEC championship in 17 years. So a lot of conference championships for our girls' teams, and field hockey and soccer both made the North semifinals, which is, it's an outstanding feat. So, on the boys' side, the boys' cross-country team had a great year. Football team made the playoffs. So, again, we had a great fall. Every team made the playoffs, boys and girls. That's the second year in a row that's happened. So, it's been great. It's been a great fall.
Right, and as you were saying, all the teams made the playoffs, and also I know our golf team had an undefeated season this year. And last year, overall, our athletic department won that Ames Award, which was the best Division II sports program in the state.
Right.
And so a lot of people were asking, where do we stand in the standings right now? Although it's very early, but...
Sure. I mean, we're in third right now. So the Globe does the standings, every day as the scores come in. And we're currently in third behind Concord Carlisle and Oliver Ames, which is a South Shore school. We're right where we want to be, and I think we can make another run at trying to win the award this year, hopefully, and repeat. And that's always a goal of ours because that's a whole program goal, and it just talks about the whole program itself and how successful you are. So we're excited about that, and we'll see what happens.
And the participation for all sports has been up once again.
Yeah, it's strong as it's been the last several years, and we think we're going to have a very strong winter participation as well, especially in basketballs and the tracks. We think we'll have a great track turnout this year, so we're excited about the winter as well.
Great. And we have some other guests here that we're excited to talk to, senior student athletes, scholarship athletes, and we'll get to some of the schools that they're going to.
Sure.
But we have Nicole Woods, we have Kristen O'Connor, and Caitlin Hardy here, senior captains in multiple sports. Nicole, why don't you kind of tell us about, we talk about the Ames Award and, how successful we are as an athletic program, but maybe some of the people out there don't know what you guys all do over the summer and get yourself in shape in the conditioning program that we have.
Yeah, a lot has to do with the conditioning program that Coach Goodhue puts on every summer. It's at 6 in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And there's been over 100 kids every single day that he has it, just there, getting better at whatever sport they do.
And you know what? I think that, part of that program, it's not only the conditioning part, but when I picked my daughter up, who was a freshman this year, who participated, you already start doing that team building and the camaraderie among your teams and all the student athletes. Is that also a big part of that?
Yeah, we definitely get a list of all the younger kids who are thinking of playing a fall sport, and we encourage them to go. We say that it'll help them meet the captains, meet the seniors, and we usually had a practice, just small stick work for field hockey after each conditioning session. So that was good. We got to meet all the younger kids and introduce them to the sport if they haven't played before.
Great. And Kristen, is that an important piece, being a senior, kind of senior this year, senior captain, multiple sports, that really reaching out to the younger kids and the underclassmen?
Yeah, definitely, because we found it good because in the past we do training during the winter and stuff, even right after our fall sports, and it makes everyone more united as a team, and team chemistry is always really important, and it's nice to have younger classmen interested in stuff so we can teach them, like Nicole said, just get them involved in the sport and everything.
Awesome. And then Caitlin, a lot of people, I know we have multiple sports that you all participate in. You're very successful in a lot of them. Some people, some of the, I guess the theory is, to focus on one sport and just play one sport throughout your high school career. You guys have not done that. You've played multiple sports and you've had a lot of success. What's your philosophy on that as a student athlete? You know, maybe for some of the younger kids that might be watching that kind of looking at gravitating just to one sport or try to do different things.
I would definitely, personally, I would encourage everyone to try to do multiple sports, because not only are you working like different muscles, where like at soccer, it's different. Like I do track in the winter and spring, so like it's like a good balance between there. And you get to meet new people on different teams, so that's always a fun thing, because you want to like, there's different people who do different sports, so you want to try and meet as many people as you can at school. And you also have different coaches, so have different coaching styles, so it's also really nice to see that across the board.
That's great. We talk about your successes. You guys moving on. You've been early accepted to your colleges as you know, not only academically, but you've received athletic scholarships at some great universities and colleges. So, Nicole, why don't you tell us what school you're going to and kind of maybe what Beverly's done to maybe prepare you for the next challenge?
So I've made the decision to go to the University of Louisville, and that's really far away, all the way in Kentucky. But definitely my coaches have helped put me up, get me exposed to other coaches, and especially being one of the younger kids, when I was a freshman, sophomore, I got to watch my older sister Corinne and all the other seniors start the recruiting process, which really helped, seeing the girls, how they did it, and I kind of got a feel of, you know, maybe where I wanted to go or how I would reach out to coaches, what I would say. So I guess not only the coaches but my teammates gave me a heads up of what I would have to go through.
So you picked Louisville, and you're going to be playing field hockey for them. They're a Division I program. When the college coach talked to you, what did you really like about Louisville and kind of what they had to offer?
I really liked the dynamic of the team. When I went out there, they had me stay with a few of the girls who were freshmen, and then I met the rest of the team, and there really seemed there was no problems. Everyone at the college level had the same goal in mind. They wanted to get better, and the campus was perfect. I absolutely loved it, and the coaches said, like, they gave me an idea of, you know, like playing time, my work ethic, what I would have to go through. So that was a serious consideration I had to keep in mind.
Great. Well, we're really proud of you. I mean, that's a great accomplishment, so that's awesome. And then, Kristen, you're going to be going to Bryant College.
Yeah.
And so why don't you tell us about, you know, that whole process, because you'll be playing soccer for them.
Yep.
And some of the other schools that, you know, kind of why you chose Bryant over some of the other schools that were recruiting you.
I chose Bryant overall because I actually am like really interested in doing business, and Bryant is like a huge business school. It's like one of their major like assets, and so I really wanted to do business. And like Nicole, I went down, I stayed with some of the girls, and I like really loved like how the team got along and everything. I got to go to a practice and just like watch and see how everything worked. And I also like talked to the coach about like playing time, like everything, like summer work, all that kinds of stuff. And like I thought like it was like the best fit for me. And like even though it is only 2 hours away, it's still like far enough, I guess. And then like I really liked the coach, like both the head coach and the assistant coach. So it was like the best fit for me.
That's great. And then, Caitlin, you're going to be going on to Holy Cross, another great program and a great school. So what were some of the things when you were doing your tours and when you went to Holy Cross, and maybe, you know, what the college coaches, what you felt was a good fit for you and why?
Well, for me, mostly my decision was based, I wanted a good academic school, and where Holy Cross, they have a great program there with everything really. It's like liberal arts. So I'm not really sure exactly what I want to go into, so I'll have the opportunity to go across the board with all different subjects to find the one that I'm really interested in. So that was my main priority, and then to have the chance to play soccer and talking with the coach, it was just great, and I knew it was just like the opportunity that I had to take. The coach he's really nice, and I'm really compatible with him and the assistant coach, so hopefully I'll have an opportunity to play there. And just being on the campus, once I walked on there, I just knew that's where I wanted to go. Just seeing all the students walk by, it was just, I knew it was the fit for me.
Right, and you know, we're just so impressed because not only do you all possess the academics along with the athletics, but the colleges that have recruited you, get early acceptance, scholarship. We're just so proud of you at Beverly High School, and and as principal, my number one, I think number one attribute you bring to our school is you guys are great role models. So you're approachable for the underclassmen, for the teachers, because you don't always find that when you have the success. Some people, success goes to their head and they walk around maybe a little cocky or unapproachable, but you guys are just the opposite. It's almost the more success that you have all had, you've really been even more humble. And I think that attitude is going to carry you guys a long way. And so we're really, really impressed. So the most important athletic competition we have coming up is the Salem Beverly girls football game that you will all be playing. And maybe a couple predictions you might have for that. And it will be at Hurd Stadium this year.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mr. Coffey is bringing in the lights, and our senior girls
Yep.
will get to play under the lights at Hurd Stadium as seniors. So what do you think?
Biggest game of our career.
I know, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully we see everybody there. Thank you all for coming on. As I said, Mr. Coffey, thanks for your leadership and athletic director. You've done wonderful things for this community in this high school. We're very proud of you, and obviously girls, we're excited. And as you said, you'll be playing different sports in the winter. Why don't you just rattle through your sport? You'll be doing the hockey, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. We're actually a co-op with Beverly and Danvers. So in the fall, the Beverly girls who played field hockey, we played against some of our teammates who we're going to have to, work with in the winter. And which I think that's probably the best experience I've had, is being a teammate with some of the girls in one season and then having to compete against them. It's kind of the whole sportsmanship. Like, they're our best friends.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Just not when you're playing field hockey.
Yeah, no. It's funny, before the game, one of my friends, Anna, we saw each other and we gave each other a huge hug, and our coaches were like, joking around, like, don't associate with the enemy. But it's fun.
That's great. And you both will be doing winter track.
Yeah.
What are some of the events that you'll be running?
I'll be doing the 50 hurdles, high jump, and the 4x4.
Oh, great.
And I usually run the 300, but I've been doing some more longer distance recently, so I might be moved to the 600 and then the 4x4 as well.
Great. All right. Well, once again, thanks for coming on, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. We're honored to have our next guest, Miss Julie Angelo, guidance facilitator. And welcome to the show, Miss Angelo.
Thanks for having me, Mr. Gallagher.
Great to have you. We've been talking throughout the community about the Common Core and how we're kind of shifting gears a little bit and really developing those 21st century skills that our students are going to need in, as they say, the real world. As a guidance facilitator, one of the goals for those juniors and seniors as we move them on to college is to make sure that they're college and career ready. That's a term that's being utilized a lot throughout the Commonwealth and throughout the country, making sure students are college and career ready. From the guidance perspective, what are some of the initiatives and some of the programs that you've been working towards for the past, I would say, 4 years to get us where we need to be?
Well, I would say that we've been doing a lot of activities that are really focused around career exploration and college readiness for students at all levels. So I think in the past, we kind of looked at it as preparing students in junior and senior year, but we're trying to get them a little more prepared and start thinking about their options earlier. So for college and career readiness as an initiative, it's really helped us because we're able to establish a few new activities and program initiatives within the guidance department. So I would say that that enabled us to really utilize Naviance, our web-based program. It's a tool for students. It's an electronic portfolio where they can assess their interests and see what careers might be good for them in the future, and also research colleges and take some assessments that relate to learning style. So students can kind of put everything together for themselves. It's a portfolio. They start in 9th grade and finish in 12th grade. We also have been able to get into classrooms more as guidance counselors. I think in the past we used to try to see every student one at a time.
Right.
And help them develop a plan, but we've made an effort with the help of administration allowing us to do this, to get into classrooms and see every student. So we're not just seeing one student here and there. We're really working to develop plans for career and college for every single student. And we start that in 9th grade. We see 9th graders 4 times a year, sophomores 4 times a year, and juniors 3 times and seniors twice. So that's been a bonus for us, really. And then I would say the last piece that has really been enhanced through the College and Career Readiness Initiative is use of advisory time. Students see their advisors twice a month, so we've been able to put together some activities that the advisors can do with their own students, and these aren't their guidance counselors, they're just other staff members that the students have been able to get close to, and they can facilitate conversations around career exploration and college searching and all of that. So they're able to do that 4 times a year as well.
Great.
In their advisories.
And I know that that's kind of like the overall aspect that we have in the guidance, but I know there's great specific and some great initiatives that your guidance department has really brought to the high school. So maybe you could just walk us through a couple of those highlights as if we're looking at the seniors this year, like you know, what are some of the initiatives and things they need to get done or that you guys work with them on?
Well, we work with seniors a lot, especially at this time of year. So we try to get in to visit them in English class very early on in September. We put together a college planning packet so they can see in that packet the timeline of when they need to apply, when they need to ask teachers for recommendations, when they should be taking their SATs and ACTs, and basically the whole process of applying. We take a look at the common application with them in the classroom setting, and they get a sense of what's going to be asked of them on a college application.
Great.
We talk about essay prompts and how they would actually put together a college essay, what the colleges are looking for in an essay. We also talk about how to decide what teachers to ask for recommendations. So it would be a teacher maybe that they've had more than once, a teacher who teaches in a subject that they might go into as a major. So we review all of that with them. We do that early on in September. And then we do get in to see them one more time in the classroom setting in the early spring to talk about scholarships available to them, local scholarships, and the financial aid process.
Great.
And in between those two, we do a lot of individual counseling with students to help them get their applications out.
That's great. And then I know there's the juniors, they have a big year in preparation for, you know, the college and career readiness too. So you want to touch base on some of the things that happened their junior year.
Sure. Juniors definitely really get going with the college process. And we also see them pretty early on. In October this year, we visited them in English, and we gave them back their plan results, which they took sophomore year. The plan is a practice ACT. It has a career component. It's an assessment of their interests. And then also it's an actual, not an actual, but it's a practice ACT. So they get to do the math and the reading and the writing that they would see on the real ACT. So we gave that back to them in October. We review it with them. We kind of wrap up the career conversation because sophomore year they spend a lot of time with us. The 4 visits that we have with them are all around careers.
Right.
So we kind of wrap that up, and then we really get them on Naviance and show them how to start researching colleges that have a major that relates to the career that they're interested in. So we start that in the fall with them, and then we do some small group guidance with them in the guidance office. We call them in small groups in December and January, and we work with them to develop their resume, their high school resume, which gets sent off to colleges, and then also they share that with the teachers who are going to write them recommendations and their guidance counselor, so we can add in some other interesting facts about them that maybe we didn't already know.
So we work on that piece with them. We work on the timeline. We work on getting ready for taking the real SAT and the ACT in the spring, because that's the first time they really get a chance to take those college admissions tests. And then in the spring, we have quite a few activities and events for them. We take them to the National College Fair in Boston. Over 500 colleges attend that college fair. So it's an opportunity for them to go around and ask some questions, get on mailing lists, and start to help them narrow down their list of schools. We also have a college panel take place here in April for the juniors, and that's great because it's the admissions counselors from a variety of different colleges who are like basically up on stage, and they present facts about their college and different types of colleges. So we have a community college come, we have a public university attend, a state university. We also have some private schools come. So they get kind of an idea of what the different colleges are looking for when they're accepting students. And then another big event for juniors is the Career Day in February. So we invite professionals from the community, typically parents or friends of family or staff, who volunteer their time to come in that day. It's the Friday before February vacation. And juniors ahead of time get to sign up for the career of interest to them, and they attend a session where there are a few different professionals who are in that career or a related career, and they can speak to the students about what kind of education they needed to get there, what their path was, what their interests and skills are, what daily tasks are in that job. So there's quite a few activities for juniors.
Right, and that career day, it keeps growing every year, and I know you're thinking about even bringing that to the sophomores.
Yes.
To have our students to start thinking about their skill set, their interest, and I think that's been great. It's really, it's kind of like a community-based day for us, and it's such a great day. And then I know like ninth graders and 10th graders. I know there's some initiatives that you have with them, especially around the Naviance program and the learning styles inventory.
Right. In the 9th grade, we introduce Naviance to the students. We set them up on their accounts. They do a learning styles assessment early on in September that their teachers can utilize. And then we also work with them to develop their 4-year course plan, so they can kind of look ahead and see what the graduation requirements are at Beverly High and how some of the electives might weave in, for each year, and what they need to get done over the next 4 years. So they kind of look ahead, like what's coming, just so they have an idea. And then we do show them in Naviance some of the career and college stuff, but it's really just a basic introduction. But we teach them about the different types of educational options they have beyond high school. So we talk about what certificate programs are, associate degree programs, bachelor's, master's, and beyond that, just so they have an idea of, for different careers, what's expected of them, how much education they're going to get.
Right.
And then sophomore year, we continue that conversation. So that's the end of freshman year. Sophomore year, we continue that conversation. They do some more career assessing. And this year, we hope to have the sophomores also attend that career day.
Yeah.
So we're kind of excited about that. We definitely are expanding it. And then at the end of the year in June, we usually have the sophomores do a reflection in Naviance, a journal entry on the one career that they've kind of really honed in on over all the research for the last year or so. And we have them basically break it down into, what are some of the things a person in that career does on a daily basis? What kind of education do they need? What are some colleges you could attend to get a degree in that field? And then they take the practice ACT, the plan. They take that at the end of sophomore year. Again, that's the career assessment and the practice ACT.
I think it's been, so progressive how we've been utilizing guidance, and the guidance counselors, your staff has been tremendous throughout this whole process. Because students are already, when they're coming into the high school as freshmen, they're already starting to think about college and career readiness. They understand the courses that they need to be taking and the interest, and it's just great. I mean, you hear it throughout the building, that college and career path So it's a priority for our students and families,
Yes.
and I think our guidance counselor has been great with that. And I know there's 3 other initiatives. I know that you've been working and collaborating with the middle school, so we're looking at bringing some of that programming down to the middle school. So the 6th graders coming in, from 5th grade, we'll start that process. We also have established a dual enrollment program.
Right.
And then when we talk about career readiness, I know that you in the guidance department have been really looking at an internship program for seniors. So I think overall, it just keeps, every year we get better and better. And
I think so too.
I'm just really, really proud of the guidance department and all the
Thank
work
you.
that you guys do. It's been great.
Thank
and I
you.
think the biggest piece is 94%, of the senior class year after year are in the 90s that are going on to college. And then the other 6% of students either moving on to the career readiness piece or developing careers right out of high school or joining the military and things like that. So just really working with our students, what they're going to do once they graduate.
We really want to help them make meaningful choices. We try to encourage them to look at the career that they're going to get into as something that they're going to be doing for the rest of their life or most of the rest of their life. So it's definitely an important choice, and they need to prepare for it.
Great. I just want to thank Miss Angelo and for her hard work and being on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
This has been a great experience, and I'm sure the community really appreciates all your hard work and just getting some background knowledge on what we're doing, preparing our students for the career and college readiness.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. This was our first Schoolhouse Talk show. Once again, I'd like to thank all of the students that helped produce this show. Miss Joanna Lloyd, our media teacher, who really works with the students. And of course, I really want to thank Walt and his staff at BevCam for everything that they do for our students and our school. I also like to thank our guests that we had on today. I thought they did a great job. And our goal for our next month's show is to bring on other teachers along with students and really display the wonderful things that are going on at Beverly High School. So I'd like to thank everybody and have a great day.